Ladies and gentlemen, just like Fabrizio Romario, sleepies for the week, we are buzzing with so much news. We will not stop. We are back again, bringing you the latest in all of Chelsea transfer news. We talked about Ugarte earlier in the morning. We then had the breaking news of João Felix. Now we've got a whole heap of other information as well from many other players, but we will start from Ugarte. Stay tuned. It's going to be a monster show once again.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We start our show from this particular news, heaps of players to talk about, so don't worry. Ugarte obviously is a point of interest at the moment. We are getting hotter and hotter in the pursuit of getting this player. So we're going to be on top of it, bringing you the latest all the time as to where this situation is. As I said, this summer transfer window is going to be mad. It's going to be bad. If you sleep, you're going to miss out. Do not sleep. That's all I can say. Mauricio Pochettino is really pushing internally to sign Manuel Ugarte. He considers him absolutely perfect player for his idea. This is from Fabrizio Romano. I just want to quickly showcase to you guys what Felix Johnston, not João Felix, he's leaving. João Felix is leaving. This is Felix Johnston. If you're not following Felix Johnston as yet, please make sure you do. My mobile just keeps buzzing all the time, so I'm going to just put it away from the table. I just want to showcase to you guys what Felix had to say about Ugarte. Give me 1 second. I just need to. Here we go. 9 hours ago, exclusive. Understand, and you know what? Follow Felix. Honestly, he's got some really, really good inside scoop. He does get it right. Whoever he's talking to internally, they're very close to the entire situation at Chelsea Football Club. Exclusive. Understand Mauricio Pochettino directly called Manuel Ugarte today to talk about project and plans for him. Chelsea are confident on the deal, as Ugarte indicated to Poch he would prefer to join Chelsea. However, still negotiations going on over the structure of the deal. So, he prefers the Premier League over Liga. Finds Premier League a lot more competitive. This is some of the news that's been floating around. Chelsea verbally told Sporting they were prepared to pay the release clause in installments, and now they are negotiating on the structure. PSG is still in the running. So apparently, we want to pay the release clause plus a little bit over 4 or 5 years, something like that. That's what's being touted around. So let's see what happens. Seems like Mauricio Pochettino at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, is heavily involved across all the players, and I love it. I honestly, sincerely love this stuff. I know some of you guys are a little bit upset, and you probably want me to be upset as well, but no, I said this when we hired the new manager and the shambolic season that we had. Our board, our owners need to take a bit of a step back and completely trust Pochettino and his judgment. Of course, there's going to be compromise. Of course, if there's something outrageous, then the board will intervene and give an alternative. And there should always be alternative discussions as well. But I like the fact that we are allowing Mauricio Pochettino. He knows what to do. He's not a Mickey Mouse manager, let's be honest. Even though it wasn't my preference, I had Luis Enrique. But nonetheless, we're now in Pochettino era. We got to back him. As I said, he's not a Mickey Mouse manager. He's done well in the Premier League, whether it's with Southampton, of course, with Spurs. He made Spurs relevant. And even prior to that, Espanyol. PSG, a lot of people might look down upon that, but look, PSG, a lot of managers don't succeed over there. You look at Galtier now. There's a lot of political issues over there. So, look, let's hope that Pochettino can do madness with us and take us a few more steps ahead of where he left off Spurs without any silverware. I think Chelsea, it's important to get silverware. But as I said, I'm very, very glad that Pochettino is getting the full control. João Felix, already not part of the plan. We're going to see a lot of other players, Dennis Zakaria, leaving as well. Not part of, we're not going to trigger that. We're not going to try and buy him. And then obviously now in regards to Ugarte. So it's good to see he's in control. Chelsea were happy with Felix, and Felix wanted to stay, but Pochettino had a different idea, also because they see Nkunku as a player behind the striker. Perfect explanation. It makes sense. I don't want Nkunku to be our striker or false nine, this and the other. Behind the striker, no problems. Now, people are worried. That means what happens if Nkunku is injured? This is where I feel like maybe Poch is going to stick around with Kai Havertz. Maybe Kai Havertz plays behind a striker as well. And then, the understudy to the striker that we're going to get is potentially going to be Armando Broja off the bench. So far, I like the plan. I really do like the plan. And if Nkunku plays just behind a striker, as per what Fabrizio is saying here, and that's probably what we are assuming as well, in a 4-2-3-1 sort of formation, if that's how Pochettino sets us up, then it makes sense. So, and then we've got the wide players in the likes of Sterling, Mudryk, Noni Madueke, and then you've got the midfielders of Enzo Fernandez, Ugarte, and potentially even Caicedo. We are looking to go for still. So look, I like the logic, I like the thought process, and this is probably why João Felix was excess to requirements. Do you know what I mean? Let me say you have to keep an eye on Caicedo and Chelsea until the end of the market. Chelsea are there. He remains in the list. I love it. This is what I said. Go for both Ugarte and Caicedo. Transform that midfield. Transform it. Do you know what I mean? So, maybe this could potentially allow us to play a three-man midfield. Perhaps go 4-3-3 as opposed to 4-2-3-1. It just gives you a different dimension. We'll see. Or maybe it might even allow in a 4-2-3-1 Enzo to be further up, but then I guess where does Nkunku fit in? Can Nkunku play out wide as well? Who knows? But potentially, I want to see Nkunku just behind the striker. I think that's where he thrives the most. But I don't want to give up on Caicedo. I think if this player, if he's available, and the players that we are sort of talking about to leave the football club in midfield, in the likes of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, in the likes of potentially Mason Mount, Conor Gallagher's up in the air as well. Kovacic, N'Golo Kante. There's some news about N'Golo Kante. We're not sure about N'Golo Kante anymore. The recent injury has really put a spanner on things. And honestly, I was always fine. I was always fine with N'Golo Kante leaving. I only changed my mind because Chelsea thought we're going to get rid of so many leaders, might as well keep one. And also a fit N'Golo Kante is a devastating player. The issue is, can he stay fit? Brighton manager Roberto De Zerbi told Moses Caicedo in January to stay at the club until June despite huge bids, and then promised to sell him in the summer in case of good proposal. Pact will be respected. Chelsea are still keen on Caicedo, but it's 3-club race. I wonder who the other 2 clubs are. Obviously Chelsea. I think Man United's keen as well. Is Liverpool one of them? Oh, definitely Arsenal. So yeah, Arsenal's in the mix, but there's no way Arsenal's going to be able to get Declan Rice and Caicedo, which seems a bit mad. Now, in regards to Christian Pulisic, Chelsea are ready to sell Pulisic for just 20 million. Juventus leading this from Mark Ogden, so you got to take a little bit seriously. Look, we recently did a live stream in regards to players keep, sell, loan, tier listing, and we also came up with some price tag. 20 million is exactly where we sort of left off with Christian Pulisic, maybe even less. So if we can get 20 million pounds, I think that's decent business, man. I think Christian Pulisic, this will be his last season as well, wouldn't it? Frank Lampard first season, Thomas Tuchel second season when we won the Champions League, Thomas Tuchel last season, that's third, and this season 4. Yeah, the upcoming season I think potentially will be Christian Pulisic's last season. So time to get rid of him. Look, I thank him for his services, especially for post-lockdown. If you guys remember, that was electric. He was massive in helping us get top 4 post-lockdown. He was a big player for Frank Lampard. But since then, he's just been injured, injuries after injuries after injuries, whole heap of controversy with his father doing shenanigans online and liking Mason Mount's failed compilations and Kai Havertz's failed compilations and him writing books, this, that, the other, the fall off with Thomas Tuchel. He wasn't really preferred by Graham Potter either, but then again, he was barely fit. And then this time around, when Frank came in again, he wasn't fancying one bit. So look, we need to part ways with Christian Pulisic. I've got no issues with that. A source has told Football London that just before the FIFA World Cup that took place last year, Mount was optimistic an agreement could be reached. In fact, there was an understanding to see eye to eye on an agreement with Todd Bowley and Beghdad Iqbali, where imaging rights, which have proved to be big obstacle in negotiations, were agreed on. However, when he arrived back from the World Cup, the offer was no longer there on the table. I feel like, and this makes sense. This is exactly how I felt as well after the World Cup. Things started to die down. Is it because after the World Cup we started to have our board of directors? Paul Winstanley, Christopher Vivell, Lawrence Stewart, and everyone else sort of coming in. Joe Shields. Have they all come in and sort of given a recommendation to Todd Bowley that, hey, maybe it's not worth going after Mason Mount? The demands he's making, obviously, like imaging rights, there'll be salary demands, this, that, the other. He didn't ever accept on the term of the contract either, how long the contract length was. So are these a consequence of the new board coming in? It was demanded by two managers, including Pochettino, that Mount needed to stay. In that respect, Chelsea was somewhat upping their effort. So yeah, look, Pochettino wants Mason Mount. So far, Poch is getting his way. Is he going to get his way with Mount? This is the player which is a big obstacle at the moment. It's not as clear cut. Poch may want him as much as he wants, but I think this player genuinely does not want to budge on his demands. That's how I look at it. Because if you want to stay and the manager wants you to stay, you find a way to stay. So, but look, the story isn't over yet. Let's see what happens. Maybe Mason Mount will still end up staying. We'll see what happens. Manchester United are really pushing behind the scenes to sign Mason Mount. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Look, if they're really pushing and if they can stump up the money, and apparently Chelsea are still asking for no less than 70 million for Mason Mount. Oof. At 70 million, I think you got to do the business. If that's what we get. Even if we get about 65, I think you do the business, man. In his last year, a player that I don't think is, a finished product. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's still a lot of development that still needs to happen. At 65 million or even at 60 million. 60 million, I think that's a sell. I personally think that's a sell. Breaking N'Golo Kante contract extension negotiation is in standby. Fabrizio Romano. We were wondering what's going on. There was a whole heap of news about, N'Golo Kante potentially signing the contract extension not that long ago. And all of a sudden, the past few weeks, since he got that injury, it all started to cool down. And are Chelsea reconsidering? And maybe they should, man. This guy comes back from injury and gets injured again. So it seems like this is how the trend is going to be now with N'Golo Kante. Unfortunately, the guy has done the mileage. His legs, he's been playing for so long. The amount of running he's done in his life, this engine ain't going to be running anymore, man. So, look, PSG could be keen on him. If I'm him, man, I'd be looking at the Saudi league, man. Like players like Benzema about to leave Real Madrid and they're about to get huge bags. I'd be looking at Saudi league, man. I think someone like N'Golo Kante would be absolutely appreciated in Saudi league as well. Muslim background, don't forget N'Golo Kante, so it'll be highly appreciated in Saudi Arabia. And he could potentially make that retirement money, man. Huge retirement money. Messi apparently is getting a deal, a full package worth about $1 billion. Like, there's some madness going on there. There's some madness. Look, I won't be upset if we get rid of N'Golo Kante. I thank him sincerely for his services. Everything he's done for Chelsea Football Club. He's going to go down as a Chelsea legend, undoubtedly. And we can look forward to revamping that midfield. So I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. Mauricio Pochettino has decided also on Dennis Zakaria. Ooh, such a shock. Do you know what? There's so many fans out there. I remember when Dennis Zakaria's name were floated around last summer. Oh, no, he's going to be such a great defensive midfielder. He'll be a holding midfielder. He'll be great. Finally, we got the guy. Don't be disrespectful. I knew straight away this was going to be another Saul situation. Much like Saul as well. A lot of people were telling me Saul was going to be a huge player for us. I knew, man, with all the injuries that Saul had, he was going to struggle. And struggle he did. Dennis Zakaria, we only saw a couple of matches. And he actually did all right in those couple of matches. But no one fancied him. Managers, whether it's Potter, whether it's even Tuchel earlier on, whether it's During Tuchel, I think Zakaria was injured, but Graham Potter definitely didn't fancy him. Fancied him for a couple of matches. That's about it. Frank Lampard Frank probably didn't even know if this guy was a Chelsea player. Swiss midfielder is set to leave Chelsea in June. He's not part of the plans. Chelsea will not trigger the buy option clause. Zakaria will return to Juventus and then assess his option. So there you go, Mauricio Pochettino, another decision made. Good on him, man. Good on him. Keep making the decisions, man. Be on power, and we'll keep backing you, man. We'll keep backing you. You're the manager. This is the thing. Few people get angry. Oh, no, we're in this. We'll back the manager. We have to, ladies and gentlemen. We screw up with Pochettino. That's it. Finito. Khalas. Over. It's over. So we have to pray that it works with Pochettino. Because if this doesn't work, I cannot have another shambolic season like last season. Seriously speaking, I cannot. I'm pretty sure you guys will agree that as well. So we have to hope that this works out. Rangers FC announced the pre-contract signing of Dujon Sterling from Chelsea. Good move for Dujon Sterling. Dujon will officially become a Ranger on July 1st on a 4-year deal subject to international clearance. A lot of people are asking how much is the fee. I don't know yet. I haven't seen any information about it, but a few people are saying it's a free. So watch this space. As soon as I see more information about this, we'll obviously bring it up in the news segment. For the time being, I think a lot of people are saying that it is on a free. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, AC Milan are close to agreeing terms with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Thank you. Of a long-term contract after direct contact started and revealed 2 weeks ago. Talks between Milan and Chelsea are ongoing to reach full agreement on fee. All parties are hopeful and optimistic. Perfect move for Ruben Loftus-Cheek to AC Milan. Good player for AC Milan as well. Good outcome for us. Hopefully we get a decent fee and we keep revamping that midfield. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the latest news that has dropped in this Chelsea late night news segment. I'm pretty sure there's more news that's going to be dropping, but we'll keep all of that for tomorrow's live stream. You better have the notification on for this channel. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Let's race towards 23,000 subscribers. And thank you for all the support you always show me. Until next time, everyone, take care and see ya.